Yo, what's up, YouTube? I'm Frank the Tank, and today is tutorial day. Gonna run through a little solo action, and the resurgence is gonna be from Rebirth Island Solos. Some gameplay of mine. We're gonna run through kind of my thought process, the things to do, what not to do, kind of what I did well, what I did wrong, and what my thought process is to kind of break down a game from start to finish. So sit back, relax, and let's learn some stuff, baby. Tank Takes coming at you. All right, here we go. Solos at Rebirth. I'm in a fresh shirt. We're ready to rock, and so is the bot alien. There he is, him and his huge forehead. My game plan for this round really is to make sure we get into the late game, try to secure a dub, and get some fights along the way. Show you kind of what my thought process is on how to rotate around circle and, you know, how I take my fights. But this circle here, going to end around living quarters. Very predictable on Rebirth Island. You know, it's be pretty simple to tell where it's going. I'm not that worried about the circle rotations on this map right at the beginning of the game, say like landing outside of zone or landing in it. I'm landing bio, though, knowing that a lot of people are, and a lot of people are going to get off the plane earlier than later. So hoping for a few people to be here, hoping to get a loadout in play, as we'll speed it along here and just cruise through the looting phase a little bit. But what we're going to be working on doing is trying to get enough money to get a loadout so we can rotate into the next circle, into zone, ready to rock, ready to roll with fully kitted. But Fortune's Keep, I worry about that first circle a little bit more than I do on Rebirth. You know, I pay attention to it a little bit more. On Rebirth, it's easy to rotate around. You can pretty much walk right into the next circle quickly. After the first is kind of where we'll pay attention more to where it's going, where we want to position ourselves. But first circle, I'm not that worried about landing far outside of it or inside of it. Kind of what you want to do. You know, if you want to get off the plane early and land in circle, you're going to get hot and spicy. Or this kind of play here, which we end up getting 4 kills here. We will die eventually. Just got caught up, pinched. Now, landing back in is very tough in Rebirth. Because of that reason, easy to rotate around the map. Very small. It's kind of a crapshoot. What I would say is try to land. Your best bet is when you kill somebody, you know, maybe keep in mind of where you killed your last guy, where some good loot might be. A little bit easier once the loadouts fall to find somebody that you've already taken out there, loot on the ground, loady guns. You know you're gonna have good loot there. A little bit more difficult early in the game. Going down early, probably one of the toughest things just to regain footing in solos on Rebirth, just because you might think it's the safest place in the world. It probably isn't. Somebody's still going to be there, so it's a little bit of luck if you can't comfortably land back into where you were. Now, Bio had potential to land back in there. You know, landing very close to where you died is always going to be an issue and risky. So, just want to pay attention to where you kind of left some bodies, left some loot that you might be or might already know is a safe place. Outside of that, it's going to be tricky. I had that supply run down, so I landed on that knowing that would speed up my timer. You know, always got to pay attention to your Rebirth timer. Do a few things, open some supply boxes, you know, get it back down as quick as possible so you can stay in the game. Right now, we're kind of just hanging out until we get to that 15-second mark, which is coming in about 2 seconds. We'll get the free loadout down on the ground, and then we can really regain our footing. Loadout's actually going to be in a safe spot here, but I am going to check gas. When I'm rotating in with gas, you always got the Curious George that wants to hang out on the gas line for some goofy reason. And there he is. And another loadout right in front of us. Don't ask me what I did here. It's bad. That was rough. But coming back in with zone there, it's always tricky. Right on the gas line, you always got some guy that's just gonna be, you know, just moving in with it. I don't understand that gameplay at all. It really limits yourself, as we'll fast forward a little bit here. I landed back in, took a fight. Had a feeling that guy had a pistol. Wouldn't recommend that strategy. That goes against everything I just told you guys, but feeling a little confident, maybe a little bit angry at ourselves after our absolute potato on that last guy. But we will eventually gain access to our loadout. We have a guy on top of the roof above us. Highly recommend an easy little tempered class to grab in your loadout. This keeps us alive here, gives us full plates. The only reason we actually stay in this game, really. And eventually we win that fight. But we're going to get a good showing of, like, working that gas line, right? We're back on the gas. I don't want to be here. We're limiting 180 degrees from where we want to be, what we want to be doing right now. Circle's going to start closing. We know we got to go. I'm going to take this time, loot as quick as possible, get back on the road. We've had a guy down to our right. He's been camping for a while now, so I am going to take a peek and see if he's still hanging out over there. Almost showing my face there to see if I could draw fire, and we get shot. So I know he's still around that area. Now I'm going to try to figure out his exact location. We put a few shots on him, let him know, hey, what's up, bud? We can tango if you'd like. But again, he's been over there this entire time, right? I just don't understand that gameplay. Limits a whole half of the map, really, to what he can do here. And now, with the circle pushing him, he's got to walk right out in the open. Thanks for playing. It's just a bad move. You limit yourself so much, and then you can get stuck in situations like that. We'll speed it up a little bit, get to the next phase of this game. As we see, that guy just throws away the game completely, comes back in. But 14 people up now. Second circle's just closing. This lobby kind of sped through. Not a lot of people left for this stage of the game. But 12 kills, we have a decent number on the board, too, especially for landing back at Bio and trying to get that money game going and failing doing that. You know, a lot of the kills got to come, you know, early if you're trying to drop high kills. You want to get those kills early. You want to get a loadout early. We didn't do that. But we're making it work now. And now we'll go into Grandma's house, and here's another good time to really work on sound. We have a Deddy. This is going to be huge, too. But hearing if somebody's below you, above you, on the same level. And there's going to be a few people around this area here, and just trying to work the map. We have that dead silence. It's just going to be huge for us. And here you can see me. I'm going up, down, below. Really just trying to throw this guy off. And then we pick up his sounds. And we can hear him walking right into us. Easy kill there as we almost went down to him. Even more footsteps. Number one priority. Make sure you have ammo in your gun that you can fight with. Because what's your use if you have no ammo? And get your plate game back up, right? So create separation to do number one, most important. Have something to be able to fight with. And two, have the health to be able to get back into the fight and sustain yourself a little bit. So we create distance, use the sounds to understand enemy position, get our reload in, make sure we have bullets, and then number two, make sure we have plates on, get as many as we can on before we have to re-engage, or if we have to completely dip from that area. Grandma's house, great place to run around and get goofy with it and really create a lot of separation in a small area. Now we'll see the circle shift. It's going fourth circle now. Rebirth's officially disabled. Now we got to play a little bit safer. We're not coming back after this. 17 kills up now. We did a hell of a job at Grandma's there, racking up some kills. But the circle, we have it, is right next to us, really. We're heading towards Nova. We know we can get pretty good positioning around that Nova area. We don't have to go down in the living quarters. Rotation from this area down into living quarters can be tricky. So we're going to try to get a footing on where everybody is, right? We have 6 people left in the game, including ourselves, so 5 people. We know one's down in one of the living quarter buildings. We took shots from the living quarter area, so we can put 2 people there. We have one on top of the roof here, and now we have shots down to 5 people. So we know we had 2 here, now there's just 1. And all of a sudden, we know where the majority of the players are remaining. The only person, we're missing 1 person on our count right now. Fourth circle is going to start to shift. We're in prime rotation, prime area to rotate in with it. Again, the end of Nova is going to be in, so we didn't have to worry about, you know, making a tough rotation or exposing ourselves out in the open. Able to rotate into Nova very easily and get some footing here. My problem right now is I don't have an AR, so I'm working on trying to loot that there. But we can hear the footsteps downstairs. Easy pick up here. We have a precision airstrike in hand. There's one on the ground. If you don't use them, you lose them, right? We see somebody parachuting back in there. They must have been rotating in from up high. Maybe they were in the tower building. Maybe it's the guy we didn't know about. Hey, we get lucky. Precision kills one of them up on the roof there. We knew there was 2 up there. Now there's 3 people left in the game, right? Take that other precision airstrike. We know 1 is up on the roof currently. And I mean, by process of elimination here with the circle closing, I know the last guy's got to be at that living quarter building or right around that outside of that area there. There's not really anywhere else for him to be. He could be in this bottom quarter building right across. So with the gas closing here, we're going to eat some of our gas masks not to totally expose ourselves, because with that precision airstrike, if you heard closely there, he did parachute off of the roof. So we didn't move him. You know, we take that peek, maybe we can pick him off, but now with the circle rotating, we'll eat the rest of our gas mask, and expect both of these guys to get into a fight. They do. Now we'll push forward, and we're going to pause here briefly. So we make the rotation up high to gain the high ground. We have access to the circle. We have the best positioning to get there the quickest and get out in front of everybody. Now with that precision airstrike, we know we push that guy off the roof. We know almost for certain, it's an educated guess, but for certain we have the last opponent in the living quarter building. So we know those two are most likely going to fight, and that's what we're banking on. It happens. We get in a 1v1, and here I try to close the gap as quick as possible, knowing that guy just got out of a fight. Perfect time for me to walk in for a third party, end this game quickly, swiftly, not have to worry about a rotation out of here, not have to worry about taking zone and getting a good position. You could play this one of two ways. The aggressive way, which I am, and just getting there as fast as possible, cut down all the area, and I really firmly believe in that. You got to go get your dubs, right? So, you know, this guy just got into a fight. He's going to be weak. He's not going to be ready for another fight that quickly. So if I can close the gap fast, now if I couldn't and I know he's going to be fully plated and ready to rock, then maybe it is a time that I'm going to take zone. But being this close to the fight, I'm able to get right in there and push and cut off the circle. You know, we have a little circle left over. If you could cut that circle down to just a fragment of it, a little piece of the pie, right? We can limit where that guy is, where he can go, and lead him right to you, right? I mean, you're looking at it like a pie, right? I mean, you're at the tip. He has a little bit of room to go, but he's got to walk right into your arms. But I make a mistake, and this is actually perfect. I make a mistake here. If you look to my right, you can see the wall slightly more elevated, slightly more directly in the path to the next circle. But I go low here. And as we'll fast forward a little bit, we'll break this down. I come low, and now pausing here, you can see my positioning is way off. I've put myself now behind him. He has advantage almost to get the zone because we got to get to that ramp. We know he's going to go there, but I go low. I think in my mind, I was expecting him to be further down on the hillside potentially. But if I look at the elevation difference as well, we give up the high ground. Now we're dead even with him. We actually give him a way out and some real estate to play with here. And when we continue forward here, we can see how this turns out. Shots fired. We do not do enough damage at all. Now I'm trying to cut off this gas. We're stuck in it. We're moving around. Beam. Absolutely beam. Credit to this dude for the shots. He hit some incredible shots, but if we go back to this point and pause, the wall we wanted to be on from the very beginning, we end up getting on top of. We eat a ton of gas, and I have tempered on, so if you look at my plate situation, I'm basically at a plate and a half at this point. Way down on plates. 3/4 of a health bar remaining. We've sacrificed 25% eating gas as well. Put ourselves way down in the health category to take this fight at a weak state. Now, granted, the guy hits beautiful shots, but we give ourselves up. We're too far up the wall. We exposed a lot of our body. Easy headshots. Instead of just immediately rotating to that spot, not eating that much gas, and him walking right into our arms, easy peasy if we would have been here from the beginning. We end up rotating back to it, putting ourselves down half health, and lose. It's actually a great teaching point here. You would think, hey, maybe I was going to show you one where we get a dub, nice little 20 bomb. Now, I blew the 20 bomb, and that's exactly why. The positioning was just totally off. We got too aggressive. Again, the other move you could do is rotate into zone and wait for him to cross. This might have been a decent time to do that because there's not a ton of room he could have went to. There is a buy station. Technically, maybe he rotates out there. That's why I say try to cut it down, take a piece of the pie, and limit his mobility and his ability to rotate and really narrow down his positioning so you can lock down the kill. But too aggro, too aggressive, push to the left, give up all the real estate. You know, we want to stay ahead of him for circle rotation. You want to keep the high ground on him. We had it on this wall. It would have been an easy win if we would have moved there originally. We end up throwing the game based off of that. That'll wrap this game up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you maybe learned something. Hopefully you did. And if you did, you know, make sure you hit the like, hit that subscribe button. Leave some comments, though. I'd love to know how you feel about this. This is a trial and error right here. Just trying it. This is the first time I've done it. If you'd like to see more of this, let me know. If you'd like to see certain parts of the game or certain aspects of the game, you know, not necessarily a full game, let me know. I'd love to know. Leave some comments. Tell me what you would like to see, what you have interest in, you know, and where maybe you think you lack in some knowledge that I could help you out with. But that'll wrap it up. Until next time, I'm Frank the Tank.